What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran, and we're going back to their 1997 album Medazzaland. Now, a number of you have helped me understand that when this album began, the group was down to LeBon Rhodes, and John Taylor, who I believe left some way through recording, at which point Warren came in. So again, it's been very helpful to hear people talk about sort of the evolution of the band, and the way in the mid 80s I believe they split up into two groups, which I've heard people talk about both sides of that very positively, and recommend tunes from them. I will eventually get to that, but I'm still trying to go through the Duran Duran catalog proper. But yeah, so this is an album which, like I said, it features Nick Rhodes, Simon Le Bon, and then alternatively, I don't know if it's just like the first half of the album is Taylor and the second half is Cucurullo, is that right? Again, I'm not sure. Usually Italian names, if it's a double C, it's a ch pronunciation, so let me know if I'm getting that right or if I'm getting that wrong. If I am getting it wrong, I do apologize. But yeah, so I don't know if it's like split in that way or if it's, just like 1, 3, 8, 12, and so on. We'll have to see. Nevertheless, we are going to listen to the second tune, which is called Big Bang Generation. I was fascinated by the opening tune. It had this sort of dark, like hypnotic, almost like siren song seductive quality to it, but again, it also had a sort of dystopian feel, and there was this vocal, I don't know, someone suggested maybe it was Rhodes, I'm not sure, but it was like this almost spoken vocal that sounded like it was, coming out of a mass speaker in like a totalitarian state. So there was all sorts of interesting sonics and a sort of dark general atmosphere that I picked up on in the first tune, the title track. I do want to again mention the artwork on the back is a little less sort of unsettling and dystopian, but it still is this like nothing is a clear, smooth angle. Everything is sort of like not perfectly symmetrical, sort of angular, and it just looks like the forms are less than fully like smooth and discrete, and it's more like jumbled and sort of jangled together. So I really do enjoy that. I've been mentioning it not only in the sonics and the lyrics, but I'm becoming increasingly aware that these albums are sort of like comprehensive works of art where they're clearly trying to articulate themes, and whether those themes have like highly specific lyrical reference, I think atmosphere and sort of emotion or attitude comes across like as an entire package. So again, the more I go through their albums, I'm picking up on that. So now I'm sort of especially sensitive to it as we go through an album that I've heard described as sort of dark and moody. I think it was Izzy World who described it in that way. So again, let's get to it. This is Big Bang Generation, the second tune on Duran Duran's 1997 album Medazzaland. Hey. Got a sort of like, urban groove to it. Ugh. Let's go. That's like, dissonant techno level dissonance there. I can swing with it. I get why some people might be a little bit on my ears, but that's a 303. Oh. For a moment, it almost reminded me of the Smiths, How Much Is Now? Like little beeping elements. Back to the dissonance. The bass, including what I really think is a 303, or maybe like hardware clone of a 303. But there's a liquidity and an electricity to that bass that makes me think it's acid. Edge to his voice at the end of that verse. I think that's right. Yeah, definitely dark and moody. Comparisons to Depeche Mode's Ultra, I'm feeling it. Lots of dissonant layers of this. Oh, shredded, man. So again, Warren replaced John on bass, like. Who's playing guitar in this album? Is it Warren also? Oh my god, listen to it. Savaging the axe. Yeah, that was wicked. Like I said, you know, I'm picking up on these dark and sort of dystopian or sort of edgy industrial vibes already. Not only the main sort of like really wicked section, which again had that like nasty dissonant synth, which, look, I listen to a lot of different kinds of techno, including bright groovy techno, but some of the acid techno I listen to, or some of the hardcore I listen to, it'll have a really sort of nasty synth. And I've talked about it before, dissonance is a funny thing. Some tracks with dissonance or dissonant synth, dissonant layer will really hit my brain right, and it works, and it gives it sort of a punk sort of feel, and it's like wicked and so on. Other times the dissonance just doesn't hit my brain right, and it's sort of, yeah, kind of like warps the track, and it's, you know, not my favorite because it's just a bit too much for my brain. So I get it, you know, even within my own brain, dissonance can be hit or miss. It just depends on the like actual like sonic character of it. But I get that for people overall, maybe, you know, dissonant tracks with like a real sort of wicked sound might not be their favorite. But as someone who's, you know, spent time listening to genres where those kind of sounds have their place, I really enjoyed that. But there were other elements too, even in the sort of like more consonants, kind of big like hot sections, like I was saying, there were still like elements that were sort of wicked and dissonant, like buried within the texture of the overall piece. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy this album. Someone mentioned, was it Suzanne? Someone was saying, I think it might have been Suzanne. If I'm getting that wrong, apologies on both ends of it. But ultimately, someone was saying that, you know, this isn't my favorite album, but I'm going to try to give it another listen, you know, see if the tunes strike me a little bit differently, and, you know, the way that people will talk about them in the comment section, like maybe that can, you know, make someone take a second look at something. So I love that. You know, there are albums that I've known from bands that, you know, I've listened to more significantly. I'll keep using the example of Depeche Mode. I'm not trying to cross anyone's wires. I'm just saying, like, there are Depeche Mode albums that I've known for many, many years, and then I go back to them, and maybe some tunes that I remembered are like, yeah, that's cool, but it's maybe not like the way I remember it. And there'll be another one that maybe I even skipped over back in the day, and I'll listen to it now, it's like, oh my god, what a masterpiece. So I totally understand how you can take another journey through a piece of music or a collection of music and actually feel different when you come out the other side, compared to how you might have taken that journey before. So yeah, hopefully some of you here are here for this album, and let me know what you think of that song in particular. Let me know if there's another tune I've yet to get to that you're particularly interested in. As I said, I'm going to keep kind of going through it just in chronological order, but it never hurts to get a little context, an opinion, an assessment beforehand. But yeah, let me know what you think. Other than that, thank you for listening and watching. I will see you next time.